Happy Monday morning. So apparently DOGE no longer exists. Uh, the Department of Government Efficiency that was established somehow at the beginning of Trump's presidency, and then without Senate confirmation or anything like that, Donald Trump put Elon Musk in charge of it, and Elon Musk just started slashing federal spending with the goal of cutting $2 trillion from the federal budget. It was a total bust. Federal spending for 2025 is going to exceed federal spending of 2024. So they had no measurable impact in any way, shape, or form as it related to their stated goals of slashing federal spending. But it no longer exists. DOGE no longer exists. I'm going to dig in a little bit more to find out exactly how that occurred. But you just remember the weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of stories that we heard of 19, 20-year-old kids, these young Doge men like Big Balls and others, would storm into federal offices and just take over and terrorize federal employees who were working there and start firing them and things like that. And as with so many other things in this administration that I've said, I've pretty frequently kind of used the tagline. It's like the incompetence of all of this stuff and just the ham-handed buffoonery of this entire administration, exemplified in things like Doge's early days, would be just comical if they weren't so fucking dangerous. And one of the very first things that Doge did was to eradicate USAID, an organization, a branch that had been around for decades, and exercising what's called soft power on behalf of the United States. Basically like winning hearts and minds, sending medicine and vaccines and food and other services to totally impoverished third world countries and refugee camps all around the world. And I was listening to one of the Pod Save America guys' podcasts the other day, and they had a guy on who knew a lot about this. And one of the stats was that over the last 20 years, USAID had saved 92 million lives around the planet of the world's poorest people. And there was no constituency for doing away with USAID. There was no constituency among voters in the United States demanding that the government do something about USAID. There was no constituency within the federal government or within the Congress to get rid of USAID. Every reasonable person recognized, this is a very low-cost way to project the United States' soft power throughout the world and make us kind of an indispensable nation to so many of these other countries and populations. But Elon Musk did it anyway. And last week or the week before, the New Yorker put out a very lengthy article and like a 25-minute long documentary about how the shutdown of USAID has already killed hundreds of thousands of people this year. It's estimated that 600,000 people around the world are dead now who were alive at the beginning of the year and whose deaths can be directly linked to the termination of USAID. And about 60% of those people are children. And so that appears to be the most significant accomplishment or impact of Donald Trump and Marco Rubio and Elon Musk terminating USAID. 600,000 people who were alive at the beginning of the year are no longer alive now because of that. 600,000 of the world's poorest people are now dead. So again, it's like the whole DOGE thing, was fucking hilarious as a concept when it first landed. But this is what they actually got done. They had no impact on federal spending whatsoever. And now it's just disappeared. And I'll tell you what, another thing that I've said relative to any number of people in the executive branch, in the military, uh, in Trump's cabinet, in DOGE, the only person who has immunity from criminal prosecution from all of this stuff is Donald Trump, not Elon Musk, not these college kids that Elon Musk brought in like big balls. None of them have immunity from criminal prosecution. So we'll see if a Democrat wins in 2028. We'll see if that Democrat has the balls to appoint an attorney general who is different in approach than Merrick Garland.